Queenie already started. Queenie already start? What?
All right, well, we'll get everybody else started then.
Oh my god. All the time. Every time we have a race. We're live?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Soul Blazer Randomizer's 7th annual Herb Percent tournament. This is our third match of the day.
Yeah, we're just getting our runners all synced up for you, so we can enjoy this final race. We're playing the same settings as we have before, which means we will be playing an open world, and our runners can freely switch between the acts and get the information they need. And yeah, looks like Pale is already going into the instead of wasting any time in Act 1, directly going into World of Evil in Act 6 to get more information and to get those really hard checks done.
For all of you that are not familiar, my name is Amelas. I am one of the coordinators of this tournament. I am joined this evening with SO5Z. How are you this evening, Z?
Yeah, I'm been watching Soul Blazer all day, and I've had the pleasure to play the middle race, so I'm really in the mood right now. It's such a fun game, such a nice soundtrack, and it's really one of those randomizers where every seed is really that great, because we have a lot of stuff to get. This is not going to be over in like half an hour or in even an hour. This is going to take a while. This gives especially races so much time to be more exciting, because people can make so many decisions over the course of 2 hours.
Very, very true. As I said, this is our third race of today. We have already had Solar Cell 007 and Dented Razor winners of the first two races, and they will be moving on to our finale tomorrow morning. Whoever wins this race will also join them, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, right now we have our runners collecting their first weapon. We see all of them using poke strats, which means it's a weapon they cannot swing yet. In case you don't know the game, you get weapons that have level requirements, and you cannot swing your weapon unless you have reached a level that your sword requires. But you are able to just hold your sword in front of you and then basically run into the enemy and poke him dead. So we call that poke strats appropriately, and we have to do a lot of that because all the checks are behind these monster layers. So we have to kill the monsters from the layer, then activate the layer, and then we get either items or we get progress in the dungeon, like a door opening or a path appearing, or we get like reveals. We get NPCs that spawn somewhere on the outside world.
And so for those that have seen our tournament in the past, you will know that we normally have a pretty linear kind of randomizer normally. However, this year we have taken a step back. We have opened up those settings to make it where we have a random starting sword. The number of stones to open up the world of evil is randomized. However, we still need a lot of those key items.
Yeah, that's right. We still need a lot of stuff to be able to finish the seed, actually. We need our equipment, which is going to be the Soul Blade, the strongest weapon in the game, the Soul Armor, the armor that lets us breathe in space, and the Phoenix Spell, which Queenie and Twinkie already found in Act 1, while Pale went forward to Act 6 and has skipped that so far, but pretty sure he will return and pick that up. And eventually, it's not that out of the way, actually.
Of course, we will also need our 3 red hot items, and of course the pathway to get to our dancing grandmas and the king of Act 4.
Yeah, that's about 7 NPCs we need in that act alone. And yeah, at this point, if you're used to seeing the earlier % tournaments, you would get like items exclusively from treasure chests or from NPCs, and Leia would mostly give you reveals. In the Archipelago version that we're using, you can get anything from anywhere. So sometimes you open a treasure chest and an NPC appears, or sometimes you think an NPC should appear and oh no, you got an item. So that's definitely makes it more interesting, because usually you would have like locations that are very item heavy and locations that are very layer heavy. If you're looking for an NPC, you would go to a layer heavy location. If you're looking for, let's say, your last armor piece, you would go into an item heavy location. But in the Archipelago, you can't tell anymore. So any location is equally powerful and can have your progress.
To answer the question in chat, bubble armor is required as long as there is stuff in Act 3 that is under the water, unless you have a very daring runner with a lot of levels that wants to just take that damage while they go through the underwater zones.
Yeah. So bubble armor is, I'd say, I've seen 2 seeds where it wasn't required in the time I've been playing. So it's usually that is the other armor you require next to the soul armor. Ice armor can also be very helpful, because we have fire platforms we have to cross in Act 2 and in Act 5. So ice armor can help with that, especially when you're low level and don't have that much HP yet. Or you could get the elemental armor, which lets you walk across the spikes in Act 6, but those things can be circumvented with enough HP, so high enough level, and you can just damage boost through these platforms. But breathing underwater and getting to all the islands, yeah, you have to prepare for that really well. You need to have an herb so you can heal up, and probably you also need like the recovery swords to heal on the way by killing enemies to make it all the way to the island. Especially Plester is really, really far away.
Okay, so as you see, some of our runners walking on these tiles, getting a text box that says we've gotten an item. Some of those items that you're seeing are required for various like little fetch quests and stuff like that. Some of them are going to be more required for like hard progression through the seed, and just takes a little bit of time to learn like what is what. Like Pale just had, it say that there's a maid if we give that specific squirrel something to eat.
Yeah. You can also see that our runners have different levels at this point. Queenie and Twinkie, who just went Act 1 and then straight to Act 2, like the normal progression, they're level 2 or 3 now. And Pale is already level 8. That's because he went into the higher acts and killed a couple of enemies there. So instead of getting the single-digit or low double-digit experience points that we see on Queenie's screen, he got a couple of 100 experience points by killing those enemies. So he made level 8, which means he's able to use more powerful swords at this point. But also he has way more HP at this point than Queenie and Twinkie. So he can be a little more aggressive in damage boosting and multi-layering, as we can see right now. He's kind of working on 2 layers at the same time, and yeah, taking a lot of damage to make it a little bit quicker to open up these doors. While Queenie is slowly easing, kiting those enemies backwards so she doesn't get hit.
For those that have seen our randomizer in the past, normally these layers would be randomized, the monsters varying with those within each world. However, currently Archipelago does not have that feature, so these are all the vanilla layers, which means they are a little bit slower in spawning the monsters, giving us those clears and stuff like that. So that's where you're going to notice some of the differences.
Another difference is that the World of Evil will not open after finding all 6 of the colorful stones. It's a random number that it will open it, and I know Pale checked it, but sadly I didn't see what the number was, so maybe we can see it when one of our other runners checks it, but I think the settings are low random, so we probably don't need all 6 of them. It would be yeah, bad RNG, I guess, if we have low random and need all 6 of them. So it's more likely we need 1, 2, or 3 stones to get into the World of Evil, which means you get a lot of very high level enemies and checks that you're available very early on. So that could, yeah, brave souls could go in there early and see what they can find.
Of course, right now, other than where Pale went into Act 6 and got a little bit of an early grind, everybody's kind of in the same place, so this is going to look very, very, very similar to for here just for a few minutes or so, hopefully, and then we'll see what each one of our runners decides to do.
Yeah. And the experience points have been solved as well, because Queenie and Twinkie found a treasure chest which gave them 9,000 experience points, which is actually quite substantial. Boosted them all the way from level 3 or 4 they had to level 11, which means the slight advantage that Pale had, yeah, just got denied by that treasure chest. He's gonna get this treasure chest too, but of course on level 8 at these 8,000 experience points will not boost him quite as many levels, so I guess they will be rather even after he picks up that chest. Yeah, right now I'm looking through the items we have. We have a couple of fetch quest items. I see the Great Pearl, I see the catnip leaves, but nothing that would immediately open up any checks for us. The door key is also there for Queenie. I don't see it in Twinkie's tracker, but I assume he got it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure all of our runners do have that door key at this point in time. But to comment on the difference in the trackers, Queenie might be using like the intermediate version of the tracker that we use, while Twinkie and Pale have just kind of the mini small one that gives you just like the very basic what you need to complete a normal rando seed. Currently the archipelago is still under development. We have noticed a few kind of unique situations even here during the tournament, but it is constantly being updated, being adjusted a little bit as we are made aware of these little issues. We have a great developer for the archipelago that works with us, Tranquilite.
Yeah, and everybody is still working through the water temple. Act 3 is divided in 3 temples. This is the water section, which can be fully cleared by our runners. And then in the next section, which is the fire temple, there are certain enemies that cannot be killed at the moment because none of our runners have a weapon that can damage these enemies. Those are metal enemies, and we need either the Sensetsu blade or the Sea blade or the Soul blade, which Soul blade kills just everything, and Sensetsu blade kills metal monsters. So we're gonna see if people dive in deep into the water temple or if fire temple, or if they maybe skip it, waiting for that Sensetsu blade at least. Right now everybody is using the critical sword, which is I think the 3rd or 4th sword you would get normally, so it deals a decent amount of damage, but it's not that super amazing when we're going into the higher acts. Like I think is in Act 4, it's just gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna make that much of a difference yet.
Very true. Our swords do kind of lose their power very quickly as you progress through the randomizer, whether it is the archipelago or our standard one that you will find at our Discord.
Right. And it looks like Twinkie, at least, is going into the fire temple because he opened up the teleports to the temple, so but he moved on, so I guess at least the first couple of layers that can be solved will be worth a check, while Queenie just opened up the temple and moved on into Act 3. Gonna get a couple of gifts from these mermaids, and Queenie is the first one to get her shiny ball. If I saw that right. She got the Soul of Shields. There it is. Queenie's got a little companion now.
Yeah, so and Twinkie just found the bubble armor that Queenie would kind of wish she had, but it's okay. So with the changes we've encountered with the archipelago is that our Soul of the Magician that we normally would use to cast magic has also been randomized into the pool of items and NPCs, and so we will be looking for that specific soul in order for our runners to use their magic. However, since Queenie has that Soul of Shield, the game registers that there is soul magic, I guess would be the best way to describe it, so it does place it on the game, saying that they should be able to, however, they will not be able to.
It can be useful to have that soul, because sometimes in a dark room you can kind of guess of where you are from the way your soul moves, but yeah, the most important is that this soul is the origination point of all our spells once we get the Soul of Magician and a couple of spells. I think I saw Magic Flare on Queenie already, so other than the Phoenix, she already has another spell she could use, but she needs that Soul of Magician, and when she then uses a spell, the spell will not come out of the player character, but out of the little soul that's circling us right now. Okay, and
Twinkie finding NPC that we refer to as Bob the Builder, because he does build the whole castle for King Margaret and keeps it protected.
And Twinkie found the first Red Hot item, which is the Red Hot Mirror, which was in the bottom floor of the Fire Temple that Queenie skipped, along with the bubble armor, so Queenie cannot go underwater. We saw her take damage when she crossed the ocean floor for a brief moment, but she can still do this first island. Act 3 is basically the ocean floor and then 4 islands that are divided. So she can do that first island, no problem, but after that she will either have to travel back or move on. Meanwhile, Pale is in the Pac-Man maze, also finding the red hot mirror, but he has to be careful of these metal scorpions that are walking around because he cannot kill them yet, but they can most definitely kill him. And the VIP cards, Twinkie also got those. This is a dungeon item. This is an item you will need in Act 6 to get into the tower, into the right tower, I believe, was that one. But even though we can move to Act 6, I don't think anybody has found the NPC that spawns the tower yet. So this is going to be useful, but not right now. It's going to be useful for later.
Very true. A lot of the items that we're going to see be used today during this race, while yes, we get them and we hope that they can be used fairly quickly, a lot of times they're going to be hold on to them and use them a little bit later after we find the NPCs that go with them. Twinkie, they're finding our first grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Wow, so Fire Temple really is loaded. We had the bubble armor, a red hot item, and a grandma so far. Meanwhile, I'm checking through Queenie's tracker. She found a magic flare spell, and oh no, everybody has the first emblem, so that was not necessarily in here, but nothing really of consequence else in this location. So a lot of layers, but nothing that was like a big opener for her that told her go this way, you will get delicious items or new NPCs here.
Very true. A lot of times, like we said a little bit ago, our runners have gotten so accustomed to kind of going to places based on what they see open up the archipelago, because of how much has been done with it. Some of the things that used to be like not required or not in logic have been reverted back to they can be required, just like you saw in the fire shrine where the stairs on the Pac-Man maze, normally that chest that was in the top is on top of those, and that layer to the right would kind of push the chest out of the way to give you those stairs. Well, we've done some quality of life upgrades, and now that chest can have a required item, where in the past it's been always a non-required item.
Yeah, so a lot of work is still being done, so this randomizer is still growing, and we're getting more options every time, so it's not getting stale anytime soon. There's still so much more options and ideas swirling around that will make this even more fun. We just saw at Queenie's screen that she died by intention. She equipped the strange bottle, which saves her gems. Gems are not useful right now because they are ammunition for the spells, and we don't have any spells yet. Oh, but Queenie finds the first stone. As I was talking, finds the green stone in the first section of Act 4. We still don't know how many stones are required for the World of Evil, but that's at least one of them found already.
Very
Meanwhile,
true.
Twinkie now doing the checks we saw at Queenie's side just a moment ago. Going into the first island. And we still don't have anything better than the critical sword at this point. Which means killing enemies will take a lot longer soon.
Thank you, Delina, for letting us know that when Pale checked it, it did say that it was one stone. I think we were still having a couple of technical issues on the stream side and missed that. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Queenie, I don't know, I don't think she checked it yet, but she could go into the World of Evil right now. But like I said, she doesn't have a good weapon, so killing the enemies would take a lot of time, and she can't use magic yet to defeat the enemies with her Magic Flare spell. Magic Flare also isn't the greatest spell to kill enemies with, so it's workable, definitely, but what you really want to see is Light Arrow or at least Flame Ball, because those shoot projectiles in a direction and you can kill the enemies from a safe distance, while the Magic Flare only deals damage around your soul and you have to get rather close to the enemies to, yeah, make use of that. And we don't have, Queenie doesn't have any armor yet, so these enemies hurt a lot. She's really going through her health bar at a, frightening rate, but she has a medical herb, which means as long as she has it equipped, once she dies, she will get an instant refill instead. So basically she's walking around with 2 life bars, and now she even got a level up, which is also a full refill of her health bar, which is very well timed. Very well done. And
Yes.
the Sensetsu sword on Queenie's side. Very nice. Queenie
yes.
can now defeat metal monsters.
So yes, our more experienced runners definitely know kind of where those level up points are, and so yes, sometimes they do watch their XP to try to get those level ups right at key moments when it would be most beneficial to their health bar. Queenie finding us our light arrow there on Aurora Ridge.
Very nice indeed. Now she just needs the soul, but basically she has the best spell in the game right now. Just 8 gems cost to spam it. So it can be a little bit expensive, but we see that the treasure chests have been very generous. Queenie walking around with 2,000 gems, and the other 2 runners with about 1,200 each. So they can cast a lot of light arrows before gems get a problem. Yeah, this location is pretty good with the 4 treasure chests right next to each other, so it's pretty good to go there as early as you can. So you get all those juicy items. But now she's getting to a point where there's ice on the floor and it's slippery, so she can't really move on this ice. She can just slither from wall to wall, basically. She would need mushroom shoes to walk on this ice and get further on into this section of Act 4. So instead, what she will do right now is just clear any enemies she still can with her still using the critical sword, because she doesn't have the level requirement for the Sensetsu sword yet. This is level 16, if I'm not remembering that wrong. So she's gonna clear these last couple layers and then she will have to move back. But that's not a big problem, because there will be a crystal she can get, and talking to the crystal gives her an item, but it also asks her, do you want to go back? And when she says yes, she will just go to the start of the act again. Well, I say it gives her an item. It doesn't give her an item, it gives her a check, would be the correct way to phrase it, I suppose.
Yes, now it's not so much items or NPCs as much as just a check.
Yeah. Okay, Twinkie also moved on to Act 4, while Paledim is still on on Act 3 on the island. Don't forget though, he already made a trip into Act 6 and checked the World of Evil, so he might be a little bit trailing behind the other 2 right now, but he has some advantages on information at least, and slight level advantage that will become less and less and less as the game goes on, but yeah. He thought it was worth it for the early game at least. Twinkie fighting with these flying gargoyle thingies, which are only moving diagonally, so usually it's easiest to take them out with spells, but also doing a good job with the sword. Finding the safe spot where he can hit those enemies with his basically 180 range of the sword. Even sometimes hits enemies behind you if their hitbox is big enough. But he doesn't get hit, doesn't get clipped by the gargoyles. Okay, and Pale will be the first one to explore the ocean floor. While Twinkie moved on, he's gonna... At least he equipped the bubble armor. I guess he's gonna check this one layer and then move on to the next island. I don't know how many of the mermaid statues we already found.
I don't believe we've found any of the other mermaid statues, but he may go ahead and open up some of the pathing here while, that way when he comes back later, it's a little faster for him to move around here. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, basically opening up a couple of shortcuts. Twinkie did not do that. He just moved on straight into the next act. And now Queenie is doing the fire temple, so we're basically just, catching up now. So we seem to have nobody wanting to go into Acts 5 and 6 yet, but Queenie will have a small advantage because she already found her Sensetsu blade. So technically she could poke down these scorpions if she wanted. And since the scorpions are... Usually you should kill them at level 16 and not at level 6 or 7 when you would usually be in this dungeon, so they will give her a lot more experience than these regular enemies, which give her like 20 at max. I think they will give her about 380 is I think. So a lot more experience points, which means she will most likely reach that level 16. Oh no, she's not going to do it.
I think she's more...
she reset the cycle. Okay. Smart. I did not even think about that. So she reset the room, so she knows exactly where the scorpions are. So she doesn't have to chase him around. She knows exactly where they're gonna move to on their pattern, and she can just now poke them down.
Very, very true. Like we were just saying, these monsters do have a very specific kind of path that they take, and 2 of them go around the full border of the room, and so by resetting them, it kind of puts them back at their starting spot, which makes it easier for us to find them instead of having to chase around the whole room.
And she's making a lot of experience points, so she's gonna reach level 15 really soon, and maybe if she also clears the lower floor, even level 16, which would mean she can go into Act 5 and swing her sword at the enemies, which makes it a lot easier to deal with those enemies because they move either very fast, like these race mice you can find there. They're super fast, or they like fly across the map like these helicopters. So a lot of different movement patterns. So if you can swing your sword instead of poking it, it makes it very much easier to deal with these kind of enemies.
Okay, and Queen Anne giving us that metal scorpion check. That chest is our first mermaid statue, which gives us Durin.
Okay, so she has the first island, and Durian has a couple of checks definitely, but it's also a little bit annoying because you have to basically walk across fire in that island, so she needs to either damage boost or maybe wait and see if she can get the mermaid tears, which would neutralize the fire platforms. Lava, basically, it's a volcano island. We'll see how she handles it. Right now she's still in the middle of Fire Temple on the lowest floor. There's also another scorpion layer we haven't seen before. So she will have to be careful not to reset this layer, because the scorpions are spread all over this floor. And whenever you activate another layer and get this little cutscene for an NPC, it will reset all the layers. So if she kills like 7 scorpions of the 8 and then activates a layer, and then all the 7 she already killed will be back again. So she needs to remember that and not accidentally reset all her progress, because of course she can kill the scorpions, but with poke strats it's a little bit of a time investment to kill these guys.
So Twinkie going ahead and moving on into Act 5, currently in Dr. Leo's basement. As you just saw, he did run across those helicopters, which are a metal monster that can only be damaged by the Z sword. Doing a good job now to kind of keep that specific layer off of the screen so it does not spawn another. But there are a few enemies in that zone that can be killed with just a regular sword. These like ones that are kind of like bubble machines or a washing machine, or the little worms. Yes.
Meanwhile, Queenie was down to 1 HP, but she still had an herb, so her percent. We get these herbs a lot of times. You can only have 1 herb at a time, so you cannot stack those. And there's usually not a good way to get another herb, especially not in the Archipelago version, where you cannot get like endless items from certain NPCs. They would usually give you the same item over and over again, but for the Archipelago version of this randomizer, this has been removed. So yeah, you can use those herbs, you should use them, but once you use them, you're not gonna get them back, and there is a limited pool of those. So if you really need them in the later sections or for boss fights, you need to be a bit mindful of that. Although all our runners have fought a lot of bosses and a lot of seeds already, so that should not be any trouble for them.
No, all of our runners here in this race have been a part of the tournament at least 1 or more years, along with running our weekly seeds kind of regularly. So it's very, very much an experience race here, just in how they handle everything that's going on their screens.
Yeah, while Queenie is still working on the Fire Temple and catching up, Paledim has found the Nose Rider Dolphin and got an extra check, but sadly nothing that really changed it for him. So now he's going into the World of Evil with just the Sensetsu sword and the bubble armor and no magic, which is brave. Let's see how it does there. Meanwhile, Twinkie is doing his best to poke strats these metal monsters, and yeah, also doing a fine job with that.
Alright, with Paledim being in the World of Evil, he is going to get quite a bit of experience really quick. So you're going to see his level kind of jump up really quickly. As you see, he can now swing that Z sword, and it still is taking him just a little bit of time to get through those checks. But, you know, with some experience, with some patience, he'll be able to get through these without hopefully too much difficulty.
Problem is he cannot kill these blue guys really well because they're behind walls. You're supposed to kill them with magic. It's possible to manipulate them to the edge of the wall and just barely tickle them with your sword. But yeah, sometimes you have to take a hit when that happens, and as you can see, just 4 hits and his health bar is completely depleted. So he's not trying to damage boost that right now. He's instead trying to move forward. But he already ate his medical herb, so he's down to his last hit right now. Unless he gets another level up that would refill his bar. Ah, sadly, did not make it this time. And he lost all his gems as well, because he didn't have a strange bottle. Ah, it's kind of shame.
Or the magic bell on that item also does keep the gems from being taken upon death.
Ah, yeah, so these purple guys are really giving him a lot of trouble right now. Let's see how many more times he tries. Nope, he says, okay, I've level 16 now. I can swing my Sensetsu sword. He's probably now following Twinkie to act number 4, and he's gonna go into the basement and make quick progress of these metal monsters. Twinkie already did all he could and is now going into act 6. He already has the castle, so there's a couple of checks he can do. But he's going straight into the basement. In this basement we have another type of enemies, which are spirits. We also need a special sword to defeat spirits, either the Spirit Blade, which none of our runners have yet, or the Soul Blade, which again just kills everything. But he's just trying to poke down these skeletons, which can be killed with any sword. Trying to get more experience to get to level 16, I suppose, or higher. And trying to see how many of these layers he can clear. He cannot progress very far in this dungeon because there is a spirit layer you need to clear to get access to the next floor. But at least a couple of checks that he is able to do. And Queenie is also in the metal dungeon right now, but she's not able to swing her sword yet, and these bulldozers kinda gave her a little bit of a hard time.
So Queenie also doing a great job getting that strange bottle back on before she took that death. So she is still in a good position for her gems when she finds that Soul of the Magician and can start using her magic.
Yeah, all our runners have the light arrow magic by now, so that's not gonna. As soon as we get the Soul of Magician, they will all be able to use that spell and be very efficient with their monster kills, because yeah, that's usually what you do. That's everybody knows especially these experienced runners, they all know how to use that spell to its maximum efficiency and get rid of very annoying monsters. The metal monsters in Act 5 cannot be killed by any magic, but in Act 4 there's like wizards that are best killed from a distance. In Act 6 there are certain enemies that are usually easier to just kill from afar instead of interacting with them and triggering their very weird movement patterns. But we're still missing that last soul. Everybody in Acts 5 by now, but with different levels and different, types of strategy. Really still fighting through these first couple of enemies, and now she's got a level 16 and can use her... Oh, Queenie found a spirit sword. When did that happen? I must have missed that. So Queenie is now able to also kill these spirits. She could go to Act 6, but yeah, she cannot swing the sword. She needs level 19 for that specific sword.
Oh, the spirit sword was on the metal monster crystal in Act 2.
Oh, in the fire temple. So she definitely made up for missing out on these early bubble armor items the other two got. Definitely made more than up for that, because as it's looking right now, we don't have any way to kill these spirits, so eventually if we have to progress into Act 6, she can just go in there and do it, but the other ones need to either hope they find the soul blade before they have to do this lair, or they will have to go back there and do a double dip into this dungeon in order to kill these spirits. Pale is now at the section with the fire platforms. He does not have ice armor, so he just damage boosts through them. But yeah, we saw all of our runners die a couple of times already, so it's not, you need to be mindful of your health at this point. It's not super free yet, and we don't have many ways to heal. Yeah, he's really, really careful not to let these mice run away. While Twinkie is getting attacked from all sides, but fends it off bravely.
Yes, Twinkie doing a great job managing all of those different layers that were spitting monsters at him. As well as you notice that he kind of did change which direction he was pointed so that that arc of his sword was doing slightly different damages to them because of that arc.
Meanwhile, Paledim found the Bridge Guardian, and Twinkie will find it soon as well, which means more of Act 1 has been opened up. So far, Act 1 was only a little bit of the underground castle, which we could explore, but now we have the second half of the act as well. But I think we saw the Watermill Keeper, but I'm not entirely sure right now. Might have misremembered that. We'll see if he goes there after he's done with this section, which should be over soon. Just got a couple more layers, and then Leo's basement is clean again. Ooh, does he have a medical herb? No, he does not. So he needs to damage boost. He needs to take the death and either walk all the way back again, hoping he takes less damage along the way now that the monsters are dead. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Checking if he got the stairs. Sadly, no stairs for him yet, so no peeking upstairs, seeing if there's any NPCs already standing around. And Queenie is taking another death warp.
Let's see where she decides to go. I think she has made the decision that because she doesn't have that ice armor to not follow through with that logic pattern like the others would.
And she has the spirit sword, so she can kill those ghosts. So it's her first trip into Act 6. She could get the hidden medical herb at the castle, but no, she's not going into the basement. Okay. Oh. Where is she going? Oh, she's following her bubble armor now, I think. Since she also has this first island available, and the Sensetsu sword to kill the metal gorillas that are there. Might be worth a go. Wait, can she even get there without the second mermaid statue?
Yes, because remember, we have done the quality life update to move the Rockbird statue over towards the staircase closer to the entrance to Rockbird, which then opens up being able to walk down that like little middle island in the seabed. So
I forgot that change has been made. But where's she going? Checking if she has it. Meanwhile, Paledim on the... Oh, he found nothing. How rude. There are a couple of empty item checks in this game where you just get nothing. And Paledim fought so hard and just got a big old pile of nothing as a reward. Okay, he's at the last couple of layers right now. He nicely crowded up those washing machines, so he wouldn't have to chase them down individually. And now he found a model of town. Hooray! That's my least favorite sub-dungeon, I suppose. But it has checks, so we have to do it eventually.
So Twinkie over there in the world of evil having a little easier time managing these little purple demons, staying out of their attack range, but still, anytime he does get hit, it is very, very dangerous to his health. So
yeah, they're super lucrative because they give 3,000 experience points each, which is a massive amount compared to the low hundreds he would get in the other acts. But they're tough. They're tough cookies. You definitely need to be careful. I think it's still 5 for 4 hits and he's down, even on level 17. Mostly because I think the best armor we still got is the Mystic Armor, which reduces the cost of the spells, but does not really give a very good defense.
The Mystic Armor actually increases our frames of not being vulnerable.
Oh.
When they take a hit.
Which one am I confused? Oh, the magic armor, of course. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, so many armors. So little. So little time to read it up in between races. Okay. Meanwhile, Pale is back in the world of evil and tries to manipulate these demons into... Oh, it's very tricky. He needs to make him face downward, and then he get 1 or 2 hits in before he needs to reset their cycle again. So he needs to dodge these boomerangs they shoot, and then get him back into position. But remember, if he gets hit by those boomerangs, he's most likely dead in the next hit. But he needs to hit those guys at least 20 times. So, very dangerous game he's playing right now, but it seems like it's working off. And he already has the prize inside. That treasure chest he sees there is now available, so he just needs to sneak past these shooting guys, dodge the fireballs, and he gets a mobile key for his effort. Which, yay, he can now kill the demon bird, I guess. Well, not really, because the tower is not there yet, and we need missing a couple of NPCs. But yeah, he got rewarded for with the possibility to kill the demon bird. And now he's gonna do try the same thing on the other side for another treasure chest, but this time he got hit, so... No, he's sticking with it. He's trying again for that item. He's definitely gonna get an item that all the other 2 runners have noped out of multiple times already. So it's definitely gonna be an item he gets earlier than the other ones, and probably for a long time. Let's just hope the time investment he needs to kill these demons is worth it. Needs to be careful, doesn't have any herbs anymore. He could run into the temple to heal, but that would also reset the layer, so he cannot just kill one and then heal up again. He needs to kill these guys in one go. Meanwhile, Queenie has reached the volcanic island in Durian. Her soul of shield is protecting her from these lava rocks that are falling from the sky, so thank you, soul of shield. But she still needs to deal with the fire with the lava on the floor at certain points. She needs to cross through the lava to reach certain layers, and one layer is very deep in the lava. Usually you would kill these enemies with magic, but yeah, no Soul of Magician yet means no magic, so we'll see if she can damage boost and kill these gorillas, or if she just leaves that layer behind and comes back later.
Queen Anne finding the door to our model town, so she will have a little bit more of Act 5 she'll be able to do once she completes this area.
Do we have the stairs already to go to the second floor? I know she didn't have him when she checked earlier, but oh, Queenie finding the elemental mail, which gives her a lot of more defense. It's the second best armor in the game, at least when it comes to the base armor value. So the effect is not that great, but the armor value definitely is, so definitely will come in handy at certain points.
So at this point in time, I do not believe that she has access to that second level of the lab. However, you know, she is very steadily like clearing up all of the past areas to kind of, you know, figure out where she's supposed to go. As you see her getting ready to take on this last layer.
Just got a level up, which means she got she has a full HP bar to work with. She also should have a medical herb still available, but right now she got the item. Yeah, she's just gonna death warp now. She doesn't have too many gems either, so those losing those 116 does not hurt very much. So yeah, got the purple stone, which yeah, kind of was unnecessary. I don't know if she checked the Vault of Evil yet and knows she just needs one stone, but we know it, so yeah, we'll see. But now, with the Elemental Mail and the Sensetsu Sword and a higher level... No, she does not have the stairs, she just checked for us. Thank you, Queenie. She will go chase down those metal monsters again.
Which now she will definitely have a easier time with, and then it will be figuring out where these runners move on to from there.
Yeah, everybody. Twinkie already has also has picked up his spirit sword right now. He went back into the fire temple and cleared all the scorpion layers. So he could go into Act 6 and make some progress in the basement. Meanwhile, Paledim still in the world of evil, still steadily working his way, dying forward, I would always almost call it, because he's getting hit, he kills one more layer, he has to reset and he comes back in. So slow and steady, but he's level 20 already, which is makes him... he would be able to use the spirit sword if he had it already. So... He's making progress, but it's definitely he's not getting the density of checks in as the other two, because he has to work extra hard for every single check he does.
Well, we will wait and see if this particular method works out well for him in the end, or, you know, if it's one of those maybe try something a little bit different next time.
Like we said, we have a lot of go mode conditions for every for our runners, so we can't really tell at this point who's ahead or who's even behind in items. We can see we see the swords. We would say, going by the weapons, Paledim should be a little bit behind because he has not a way to kill spirits yet, and he will have to kill spirits at some point. But yeah, that can change really quickly with just one drop. Meanwhile, Twinkie is also going to Durian, will also find his elemental mail at that point and the purple stone. And Queenie is doing the checks in Leo's basement, which we already saw from the others, which did not give them the greatest progress, I believe. Just looking through their trackers if they have anything that's missing on Queenie's side, but no key items at least. Have you missed anything? Yes, you missed a lot of different routing right now, even though our runners are kinda coming back together at this point again. But we have everybody working on a different dungeon right now, so it's a lot of different pathing right now, and so far this race is still anyone's to get.
So, of course, as we approach this hour mark, I do again want to welcome everybody into the tournament. If this is your first time viewing it, please feel free, ask us questions. We will answer them as we can. This is our 7th year hosting this tournament. However, it is our first year on Final Fantasy Randomizer as the hosting channel. And of course, we are very much excited to see anybody new join the Discord, learn Miss Rando, whether it's just for the archipelago settings or for our standard randomizer. The link is there in chat. Thank you very much.
Okay, and while we're checking this out, Queen is also going to venture into the world of evil for the first time. And we'll see how she's doing. She also has level 17 right now, which will change very quickly when she kills these first bug creatures. And Paledim now talking to some mermaids, or he wants to, but the mermaid is not there yet. Huh. The soul is also not there yet.
Hey Z, these are the flies from IOG.
Flashes from IOG? Where?
What Queenie's fighting. They're a much larger version of the flies from IOG.
Yeah, oh, the flies from IOG. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was just, yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Take a moment. Please don't make me face them. Yeah, these flies from IOG are IOG, the Illusion of Gaia, the sequel to this game, basically, also has a great randomizer, which I happen to love a lot and play a lot. So there's a couple of things that have been that have made their way into the second game of the series, and even into the third game of the series. Did you know that in Terranigma you can find the soul armor, for example?
Interesting. I've only played Terranigma once, so I'm not as familiar with it, but
it even looks like the sprite even looks like the soul armor you will find here, so kind of a nice throwback. Makes you immune against deadly curses.
Very, very true. A lot of resource sharing between all of the Quintet games and those sibling games with the references to ActRaiser for those not familiar.
A lot of sound effects, a lot of enemy designs from ActRaiser that you can see. There's also some other stuff that has been taking over, like the we will see some enemies. No, we already saw them in the Fire Temple that look like Moontribe spirits from IOG. These worms we saw in the Metal Monster Lair, these jumping worms, they also appear in IOG. We also have Turbo the dog, although he's always a different kind of dog. He's like He's like he's a dog in every single game in Illusion of Gaia, and in Terranigma he's you can find Turbo the dog as well, but he always looks a little bit different. Okay, and Paledim is doing these strats again. He really wants the world of evil right now. And meanwhile, Queenie, I think, now level 19. I think now she might try to go into the basement and see if she can get past these ghosts. And Twinkie is right behind her. He just cleared Durian, the volcanic island. And now they're going to go in the dungeon basically simultaneously. This could still change very quickly if Paledim finds the Soul Blade in the World of Evil, because that would really open up everything for him, and he wouldn't have to re-clear the Fire Temple necessarily. But he's really investing a lot of time here. Meanwhile, Twinkie fighting with the ghosts. These ghosts are kinda annoying. They can just vanish at a certain point, and then they're invincible, and then they reappear, and sometimes they reappear in the middle of your hitbox, and you just take damage, and they disappear again. And yeah, it's a little bit annoying to deal with them. Although our runners are at a level where they can handle it. Twinkie using these poke strats again, has not reached level 19 right yet. Queenie just slashing at them with her sword. But Twinkie doing a good job with poke strats. Needs to be a little bit careful now that the ghosts started flickering in and out of existence.
So on your comment about Pale not necessarily needing to go back and clear that fire shrine, I do believe that he is still going to have to go back there to get the Durin statue that was on one of the chests. So
what was in Durian that he needed? There was the elemental mail and the purple stone. I don't think anything important was in Durian.
There was the door to the model towns.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right, yeah. Okay, so it's not very likely that both model towns and everything that's on the second floor and the attic is not required. Yeah, you're right. He probably will have to do it eventually. And she's taking a little bit of time now, figuring out where he wants to go next. Dipping into Act 6 again. Probably checking if he missed any NPCs that spawned, but Act 6 is not very... Oh, Soul of Magician on Twinkie's side. There we go.
Queenie not very far, yeah.
Behind the Spirit Sword, though. And now we will probably see him use the light arrow. There we go. To deal with these... I don't even know what they're supposed to be, these grey balls.
Just call them metal orbs. I mean, they cast magic flare, basically, from the enemy point of view, so...
Yeah. Magic orbs. Sounds fine. And we also see him and Queenie pick up hidden treasure chests here. Usually you would need a soul that reveals these hidden treasures to you and hidden passages, but of course our runners know this layout by heart, so they know where to look for these hidden treasure chests. And Paledim really doesn't want to go back into the Fire Temple. He checks every other dungeon first to see if he missed something else. Meanwhile, Queenie slightly in the lead right now, finding her third emblem along the way. We need all 8 of them to check what is called the pedestal or the crystal fairy.
Yeah, Delina, that's kind of where I'm thinking, is that he's forgotten kind of what he has available or got after he completed part of that fire temple.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he had to focus really a lot of on not dying in the World of Evil. That is not. He had to invest a lot of time, but also a lot of focus on that. So he just momentarily forgotten that he has that available.
And so, like was said in some of the earlier races, you know, this is still a very new kind of approach to this randomizer that we are taking this year. So a lot of our experienced runners are being thrown back to that like it is a brand new randomizer that they are playing. Like they know all of the components. It's just it's being presented to them in a very new way. And so some people are having a little bit of a difficulty. We do hope to continue to improve the randomizer here for Archipelago, even our standard randomizer, so that it's not such a big shift between what we're doing every single week if we're doing the weekly seed, or when we're hosting the tournament and we've decided to do kind of this multi-world setting.
The mechanics basically are, all our runners know the mechanics very well of this game. Yeah, they're very skilled in what they do, but the routing is completely different in these settings. So yeah, that's where that's basically what you're seeing. Paledim doesn't have problem with killing the enemies, but right now he needs to reinvent his routing. But I think now that he's backtracked all the way to Act 2, he will realize that he can do some more checks in Fire Temple, and he will also find the Spirit Sword, which will most likely lead him back into the prison, into the basement, where he will also get his Soul of Magician.
I think Queenie has gone so long without that Soul of Magician and just kind of seeing that orb there that she's forgetting that she does have the ability to use magic now to take care of some of these monsters without having to...
That's also something that can happen, that you just simply forget that you have it. I know she equipped the light arrow, or maybe she's just confident in her swordplay at this point, because she's level 20. She's kinda not overpowered, but she's kinda at the level that she should be, so these enemies don't pose that much of a challenge to her. Maybe she's just brute forcing it to save a little bit of time instead of positioning herself and the enemies to use her spells. Okay, and she has cleared the last layer of the basement, made a little bit of an... they went into the dungeon at the same time, she and Twinkie, but Twinkie was one level lower, so he had to use a lot of poke strats, while she could slash, so she made a bit of a time advantage out of this dungeon, and she's the first one to enter the right tower, which also has new enemies, and new checks we haven't seen before, so we're sticking with Queenie to see what she's finding. She's finding another mermaid statue, which also gives her more stuff to do in Act 3.
That particular statue is the one to Blaster, which does have a single lair that is a metal monster lair as well. So good thing we have our Z sword. Maybe we'll find our soul blade before we get through there to make that a little bit faster. But we'll continue to watch and see what happens.
We also, all our runners found the Thunder Ring, which would be an alternative way to kill these metal gorillas on Blaster. But when we have the Sea Sword, so it's a little bit more tedious to kill them with the Thunder Ring, using the Thunder Ring to call lightning strikes to kill those enemies. You have to position them next to the lightning rods and then call forth the lightning at the right time. So it's a bit more tedious than just swinging your sword at them. So luckily our runners will not have to deal with Thunder Ring mechanics this seed.
So very true. I know our speedrunners in the group, learn how to use that to their advantage, and sometimes it is very difficult watching them in a run because a monster doesn't want to move the way that they want it to move.
Yeah, Twinkie now left his basement as well, is now level 20 and can swing the Spirit Sword as well. Queenie still has a little bit of a level advantage, and she found Flame Ball and the Magic Bell, which is kind of nice. Magic Bell makes all your spells cost no gems, so even if she dies again and loses her gems, She can just spam this light arrow freely if she wanted to. And she found Leo's brush, which gives her more access into Act 1, but I believe we're missing NPCs to make use of that brush yet.
Yeah, still missing some NPCs for that. Also just wanted to note that I know the monsters aren't staying on the screen very long, but these horse monsters, if you're paying really close attention, you notice that they do kind of move in the way that the knight piece on a chessboard moves. So a lot of different reference material being used to kind of make these more authentic in their appeal.
Also, they spawn 4 spikes, which all count as an extra sprite. So if you have a lot of these horses on screen and fireballs raining down on you from these little statue thingies, they cause a lot of lag. In this tower it's kind of manageable, but if we ever see the left tower, we will experience a lot of lag because so many sprites are on screen at the same time. And Queenie is going towards the demon bird fight. She has the mobile key, so... she does not have any NPCs yet, so she's not going for the boss fight. Okay,
so
let's see where she's going.
If I remember correctly, you really don't need the NPCs there to get the fight to start. But
yeah,
again...
maybe she just doesn't want... It's a very long boss fight and it's just one check. So maybe she just skips it until she can also get the NPCs and get the second check in that section at the same time. Save some time.
Very true.
She's back in the lab. Leo's lab. She found another section of this metal layer. The section where there is also a boss, but right now she has to maneuver through a lot of fire platforms next. So she's level 21. She has a couple more HP than she had last time. She can work with that a bit. She can also open up a shortcut to the temple to full heal if necessary. But I guess she will finish this section and go towards the boss fight, the Tin Doll.
Normally this area, known as the power plant for Dr. Leo's lab, is kind of avoided by our runners because it is so many like chain layers where it's like you got to do this layer to that layer to another layer before you get one that gives you either an item or an NPC, and just it sometimes seems like a time drain.
In its defense, though, it has the best music in the game. And Solar Cell with the raid. Thank you very much, Solar, our winner of the first race and the finalist, definitely one of the finalists for tomorrow. Now watching the... we also have Dented Racer, who's going to be the second spot, and now we're fighting for the third spot. And right now it looks like I don't want to be too judge too much in it, but it seems like Queenie is slightly ahead at this point. She's definitely doing checks all the other runners have not done yet. Paledim is still catching up with Durian, and Twinkie is now just has now just left the basement of Act 6 and is now going after the second mermaid statue. So we'll have to see, but to me it looks like Queenie has at least a little bit of a lead at this point.
Of course, as we've mentioned, Queenie is the coordinator of this tournament, is one of the admins for the Discord. So if she wins this race this evening, I will have still quite a bit of work to do to prepare for tomorrow.
Well, she made short work out of the Tin Doll boss fight. She manipulated the boss so the boss would only move up and down and not go into these teleporters at the side. So yeah, she made quick work of him without getting into any real danger. And Twinkie is now on the way to
Blaster. Yeah. So some new checks here that we'll be seeing.
Yeah. I think Queenie also found another mermaid statue in the power plant. So she has 2 islands she can explore right now. But she's going into act. Oh, she also found the greenwood leaves.
So yes, Queenie found that greenwood leaf. This is going to give her access to the light shrine, which is the 3rd temple of Act 2. It also has some spirit monsters, so good thing that we have that spirit sword. You're seeing her check the Soul of Light mole. Luckily, it just gives us a kind of filler NPC, but still some things that the runners are having to remember, that we do have these extra checks.
Yeah. Very efficient work from Queenie, going through the NPCs before she goes into the dungeon. So in case anything, she doesn't waste a lot of time. She doesn't have to come back for these NPCs later. And Twinkie trying to kill these metal crabs with light arrow, but they are, when they are crouched down behind their metal shell, they are immune to magic, so hitting them with that Sensetsu sword usually works well.
Twinkie also found our little gnome king that of course we know we need in order to finish the seed. So again, we are at only 1 hour and 20 minutes. This is still anybody's game.
Soul armor on Plaster. So Gnome King on the passage and soul armor on Plaster. Very, very nice. So this is definitely a way that all the other runners will have to walk as well. But yeah, like I said, I just praised Queenie for being slightly ahead, and with just one decision, the lead basically changed again. Paledim seems to be lagging behind a little bit, but if he takes the right turns, he can easily catch up. He already made up some time by being way quicker in Durian, because he had his light arrow magic already.
So on average, the seeds are about 2.5, 3 hours in length. Yes, it is a very long randomizer because there are so many places that NPCs and items can get placed. And sometimes we just go into kind of like hide and seek. Again, our races earlier today were about 3 hours. Second race was about 2.5. But again, as we have people come into the community that are willing to take the time to help adjust programming and stuff like that, we can get it where we can have settings that may not take quite as long and still get through learning the base game.
Also, you have to remind, it's a slower game in general. It's not like the base game itself is just a little bit slower than other games of this genre. Like in Zelda, if you want to check, you just walk to a treasure chest, open it up, and there it is. In this game, if you want to do a check, you have to defeat a monster layer, which means defeating multiple enemies. It's not very hard fights. Once you figure out these movement patterns, you can basically manipulate these enemies into a pattern that you can easily kill them, but it just takes a little bit more time in general to get from check to check. So it's the base game is a little bit slower than other action RPGs, but yeah, it's also I think it's kind of almost relaxing in a way, because you're not constantly at the brink of death in this game, and you can be very smart in the way you handle these monster layers. And there's a lot of optimization to be done by multi-layering or stuff like that. Learning how to use your spells is so satisfying when you learn, hey, I can stand here and then just shoot all these enemies and not be in danger.
Also, one of the things we really haven't kind of gone over is that there are different ways that these layers kind of give the monsters to you, which we see a lot differently in our traditional randomizer, with whether it's a fast spawn, single spawn, proximity layer. The vanilla game, the timers are a lot longer, so it doesn't seem like your layers are going quite as fast. To answer the question in chat, what does herb percent mean? Herb percent is a fun way talking about the number of medical herbs that we have in each and every seed. So it's kind of the how many do you get, how many do you use? While we don't actually, like give a percent qualifier to it, it's just it is a good portion of most of the seeds. So it just seems like a great kind of fun way to describe what the randomizer does, kind of.
Yeah, and while Amy was explaining all these things, Twinkie has found his stairs and is now in the model town, which is another subsection of Act 5. There are these toy soldiers and toy archers and toy catapults that need to be killed. The music is not that great. So I don't. It's basically because of the music. It's my least favorite. My least favorite part of a dungeon, but it's packed. It's definitely packed. You have 10 layers in one, which almost all of them give you items, and you have 20 layers in the second model town. So you will get a lot of stuff done in here, and it's not very wide. So you can get it cleared super fast and get a lot of stuff done. So that's exactly what Twinkie is doing. And he found a sleepy bird. One of many sleeping NPCs that we find. Sadly, we don't have the dream rod yet, but this is another mechanic we know from the base game. Some enemies are asleep, and if you use the dream rod, you can enter the dreams, and they will either open up a passage for you, or they will give you some dialogue and then give you an item once they wake up. So sleeping NPCs also exist in the randomizer, and we need the dream rod to interact with them. The dream rod is not strictly required to finish any seed, but it definitely helps having it, because you will find a couple of those in every act.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
Queen Anne
clearing out the light shrine. And
finding, yep,
sorry.
Finding that Grandpa Logs, which is a path that we need to complete our game this evening. So while Twinkie is also finding progression slowly but surely through the model towns.
And Queenie is back in the world of evil with light arrows now to kill these purple demons, and you see how much easier it is to just kill them from a distance, and also with a spell that deals a lot of damage to these skulls. So she has a lot of... She gets these two treasure chests first try, which Paledim died 3 or 4 times just getting these two, and she will probably also move forwards to the... Oh, that's why she didn't go to the Demon King. She didn't have the mobile key. She just now found the mobile key. And she finds a boy, which is also a path giver towards the Mountain King and the Dancing Grandmas. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening again. All our runners have gone a different path again. Paledim is still kinda catching up, but he's using his magic to make up a lot of time. Very efficiently dealing with these 2 layers of magic orbs.
And as you saw there, he was kind of pushing up against that wall to get that magician orb to move to a better location so that he could reach those without having to really interact with those monsters. It is a trick that a lot of our experienced runners do, and there are several different techniques. Most just use the wall, but there are a couple different ones.
And meanwhile, Queenie getting towards the soul armor chest. This is the chest where in the standard game you would find the soul armor. And she now opened that pathway, but she's still not finished. She can still get 2 more treasure chests in this section, but she needs to open up a path, so she needs to be careful now. I don't know if she has an herb left, but she needs to kill a couple more enemies to get a passage open. Needs to dodge a lot of fireballs and these flame traps in the corner, but she dodged that one very well. And now, oh, she did have a medical herb, so she just damage boosted for these guys. Okay. These metal thingies cannot be killed unless you have the soul blade, so she needs to tank that damage, or she needs to like go into the nooks and dodge it. But yeah, dodging saves wastes time. She can just walk past them, and now she's death warping using the magic bell to maintain her gem count. And yeah, made quick work out of the World of Evil now that she had her light arrow spell.
And Queenie did dip out of there because the next part of the World of Evil, known as the Dazzling Space, has an environmental enemy that damages no matter what you do unless you have the soul armor. So she's taking the logical progression and dipping out of there. And Solar, to answer your question, no, she did not go grab that chest.
Oh no, she did not grab the armor chest. Such a shame. So Twinkie could go past this point already, because he already found his soul armor on this passage to Blaster, or in Blaster. So let's see how long it takes Queenie to get going into Blaster. She's backtracking to Act 1 at this point. Probably checking if she has any more NPCs. She has the shopkeeper and the sun to get a couple more items. Soul of Reality, which she doesn't need, but she will take anyway, because it's faster to just say yes and accept the item you don't need than to say no. I think she's the first one to backtrack to Act 1 at this point. At least I can't remember the other guys doing it. So she picks up a couple more items, but nothing too important right now. I don't think she can use that Leo's brush yet. She does not have the stairs. She also does not have the boy for the pass. Oh, she doesn't even have the pass. Okay, never mind. So that trip was not as fruitful as she had hoped it would be.
I was going to say, it has been such a long time since she had been in Act 1 that I do believe that she just wanted to go back and refresh her memory as to what was available and what wasn't to her. Because as we've stated, you know, this is a longer randomizer. The tracker that they are currently using does not have a map function to kind of help them along. However, there are trackers out there that do. We normally don't use them, so it's kind of hard for us to validate like how effective they are in keeping up with all the quality of life changes we've made.
Yeah. So Twinkie also did a couple of stuff in Act 5 now, that he cleared all of his model towns. Has found a couple more armor pieces, but not any more red hot items. Soulblade is still missing, but he has at least 2 of the 3 equipment items already found. So he's making progress, and he's following Queenie to the world of evil now, while Queenie does the passage to Plaster. And we see something new on Paladim's side. We see the demon bird for the first time. Or the winged demon. And there it goes. So this boss is kinda annoying because he can give you dives, or he can give you these horizontal phases, and the dives you can get 1 hit in and have to wait again, but these horizontal phases you can get a couple of hits in. So kinda a lot of time you have to invest into just a singular check. So usually runners try to avoid this check for as long as possible. But I suppose Paledim also might feel a little bit behind, and so he would maybe prefer checks that are a little bit more out of the way in hopes to catch a lucky break.
Of course, Twinkie having that soul armor is going to give us some checks that we have not seen from the other 2 runners. Queenie, of course, is kind of clearing up the things that Twinkie did while she was in the world of evil. So, again, this is just all depends on how we route the rest of the seed to determine who is going to be our winner.
Let's see if Paladin remembers the soul armor chest that Queenie kinda forgot or left for later. Meanwhile, Queenie on her way already found her gnome, Mountain King, and will now pick up the soul armor within these next layers. Also doing a good job multi-layering here, juggling 3 layers at once with these gorillas. There's the soul armor. GG Queenie.
Okay, again, Twinkie giving us this new section. Every time you see those purple like spirits kind of moving across the screen, that is what the soul armor is protecting us from the most in this area.
Yeah. This is doing like a lot of damage. If you think you also take environmental damage on the fire platforms or on the ocean floor without the bubble armor, but it's like you take a tick of damage every 2 or 3 seconds. But this is like just you take a tick of damage every couple of frames, so your health really goes. Oh, and the soul blade locked behind the soul armor. Wow. Okay. Now you saw him switch immediately to the soul blade and kill these purple
Little
rectangles.
spinning tiles.
Yeah, these tiles, and they give a lot of experience points, and they are basically killed in 1 hit, so there's a really good spot to grind to level 24 to be able to swing the soul blade in case he finds his progress. He needs to swing the sword to defeat the final boss, so he has now the possibility to kill a lot of these dungeon hazards, like the wall spears or the floor spears in Act 2. So he will definitely see him do that to get this level 24 as quickly as possible, so he can use that soul blade as efficiently as possible.
Yes,
is this even randomized? I mean, it is kind of randomized. There is a soul item in the soul chest, but they're kind of switched up. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I agree. Randomizer was kind of lazy there. Hey. Paledim is also working towards Durian to get his soul armor, and Queenie is doing the model towns next.
Pale is on his way to Blaster.
Oh yeah, to Blaster. I'm sorry, I said Durian, which is, of course, he already cleared Durian earlier. So, what's Twinkie gonna do? Looks like he's going back into the underground castle. Did he find the Mill Keeper? And we didn't notice.
Yes, he found his watermill keeper. He is going to go do the second part of the underground castle at this point, and is all new checks for us. So let's see what he finds.
Yeah. Kinda bad to go here in a way, because of course it's new checks, but there are 2 checks he will have to leave behind, because we would need a sleeping NPC here to open up a passage for us, which is Lisa, the sleeping girl. But yeah, we have neither Lisa nor the dream rods to enter her dreams, so that's definitely a potential double dip for him. But he's rewarded with finding a queen, which will also hand him a free item the next time he returns to Act number 6. Yeah. Also, he's super overpowered at this point right now, because, yeah, he's level 23, you're supposed to be here at level 2 or 3, so, yeah. And he found the soul. This, jellyfish would usually give him the soul of shield, but of course in this randomizer it's just a random check. So he's not getting items directly or progress directly, but he's getting a lot of potential so far. Okay. And I think we're going to see new checks on Paledim's side as well, because he's moving over to Rockbird, which we haven't seen from the other runners yet, which is the 3rd island.
So yes, Pale found the Rockbird statue off of that demon bird, and now is making his way there. So we will see if that becomes a required check for these other runners here very, very soon.
Ooh, Red Hot Ball from Twinkie in the Underground Castle, 2nd part. So that's definitely another check that the others will have to do at some point. On Paledim's side, Rockbird is another one of those locations. There's a lot of stuff here, but you have to work pretty hard. You have to kill a lot of layers to spawn other layers, and they then eventually spawn treasure chests or like layers set with rewards. So it's packed, definitely, but it's also a time investment you will have to go through, because especially in the Archipelago Rando, where the spawn rate of these enemies has not been adjusted yet, you need to spend some time waiting for all these gorillas or birds to appear and take care of them. This is not a challenge anymore, of course, for any of our runners. They're all at a level where they can easily blaze through all the remaining dungeons. Now it's not so much about mechanics anymore. Of course, you still can optimize your movement and stuff. You can still make up time with mechanics, but at this point, it's more about making the right decisions and getting that lucky punch to find the item you need.
Okay, there's Queen Anne finding that watermill keeper that Twinkie found there in Model Town 1 a little while ago. So we will see how soon or how much later it is before she makes this same play to get her red hot ball.
Meanwhile, on Paladim's side, we see the first checks with actual items behind them. A power bracelet. Ooh, okay. That's an equipment item. There's 3 bracelets. Power bracelet, which doubles the damage output. The shield bracelet, which halves the damage we take. And the super bracelet, which does both at once. So, nice to have. Not necessarily required, but definitely something you want to see. Usually pretty early, so you can kinda make up the lower base power of an early sword. At this point, it's, yeah, just nice to have. Mostly important for the end boss fight, I would suppose, where it makes a big difference. Still.
Twinkie continuing to give us new checks with that hype cave, Paledim finding the lucky blade which you need to go into Loon in Act 4, along with this architect to get to our painting in Act 1.
We have the house on top of the staircases already. Because we have the brush, so that would be another sub-dungeon available to us if we had. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, Paledim taking new checks and... Oh, Twinkie found the soldier and he already has the singer and I think he already has the harp string. At least I saw somebody pick up the harp string at some point.
And Pale finding our last red hot item in that red hot stick. So Rockbird and Demon Bird are going to be required today.
Oh, I know. Queenie does not like the Demon Bird and she might skip it for a long time. So that might turn things around. And Twinkie finds the best spell in the game, the Tornado spell. No, just kidding. Tornado is terrible. Tornado basically makes one of these tornadoes. You saw the bird enemies and rock birds shoot at you, but unlike those birds, they just the tornado just goes into a random direction. So you can make it work, but you need to be super lucky. Okay, Twinkie is now going into the power plant. We saw that already on Queenie's side. I don't remember if there was anything too important in there.
There's the greenwood leaf in the power plant.
Oh yeah, you're right. And Paledim is following the lucky plates into Lake Loon. And you should not have too much problems here. He has these appearing wizards that would teleport away if you got too close, but Light Arrow makes it super easy to deal with those before you engage in combat. So he will not have that much problem here. He also has to leave behind 2 checks that are locked behind a sleepy mushroom. So no dream rods still for any of our runners, so all the sleeping NPCs are still locked away. I don't even know. I know I've seen the sleepy bird, I've seen the sleepy dolphin, but I don't even know if we have seen the sleepy mushroom yet. I have to admit, 3 runners at once, I'm kinda losing a little bit of my bearings, who has what and who has seen which check yet. Oh, and mushroom shoes in Lake Loon for Paladin, which means he also has the in the first section, the checks that had to be skipped earlier because we couldn't walk on ice are now back in logic. But he's sticking in Lake Loon for now, makes sense. he has a couple more checks in this section, and then he has the central section with the passage to the boss as well. So definitely has more to do in here than behind a check behind the mushroom shoes. Finds a plant, which will give him another item in Act 5. And meanwhile, Queenie is doing trying to do more checks in Act 5, but she's lacking some NPCs. She does not have the chest of drawers that will give her items. She does not have the mouse with the mouse hole that will give her access to 2 more items. And Twinkie killing his Tyndall boss. We've all seen this happen on other people's streams before, but he's using poke strats with the soul blade. It's taking him a little bit longer than Queenie with her Sensetsu blade, I believe, but it's super safe, of course. Queenie now using her soul armor to get back into the world of evil, and she will find her soul blade then. And maybe even remember that she still has that chest to check. What is Paledim doing now? He's going back to Act 6. Is he checking more NPCs, or is he going to go... Yeah, he's checking the Queen. And Queen gives us the Sleepy Cat. Another item once we have the Dream Rod. And he does have the harp string, so we will see the check behind the singer. We give the harp string to the singer, he starts to play music, and the soldier walks closer to the stage to hear the music, and he leaves behind an item. That's going to be emblem number G, so the 6th out of 8 emblems. I don't think anybody has checked what's on the pedestal yet, but getting closer.
I think we're still missing some NPCs to get to that pedestal as well, so...
And Queenie finds the soul blade, and she's immediately... Nope, she's not immediately killing these guys, she's just moving back to the temple, and will she? Yes, she did remember the chest. Now going to check this last item for her in the World of Evil for now. Twinkie, meanwhile, has the Dr. Leo cutscene. Very gruesome. Soldier gets killed. The Queen takes Lisa as a hostage. And then Dr. Leo, kinda sacrifices himself to kill all the soldiers and the Queen. Oh, Queen is also doing this check. No, she's not doing the cutscene, she's doing the boss first. Which is required, we know that from Paledim, so she's definitely on the right track. So we have our equipment, we know what the red hot items are. I think the only thing that's still missing is the last dancing grandma. Oh no, it's not. Twinkie already has both dancing grandmas.
So yes, our second grandma was in the underground castle, second part.
Okay. I must have missed that, because I was paying attention to something else. But he did not kill his demon bird yet. So that's something he definitely will have to do at some point. He wanted to check... No, he's not gonna kill the demon bird. He just checked the Queen.
So I think he believes there's still some other checks that he can go back and do, which there might be. Again, so much going on with all of these runners going in different directions. Queenie there getting her Rockbird statue, which is going to lead her to her red hot stick. And
While
so
Twinkie is following the Greenwood Leaves into the Lights Temple. We've seen that from Queenie as well. So again, we're catching up with each other again. I mean, Paledim at this point is checking the model towns next, I would assume. After he checked what's on the attic. Oh no, he doesn't have. I think we've seen the chest of drawers in the attic already, so he must not have picked it up yet.
And so we do know that Twinkie's also going to find some progression with the grandpa that we need to create our path to the grandmas and the king there in Act 4. So everybody's kind of getting little pieces of progression every which way they go. Some of it is catch up and some of it is new, but again, just continuing along as best as we can.
Right now, I think we're seeing mostly catch-up, but I'm really curious if Twinkie has the path to the Mountain King already open. So if this red hot stick would potentially be go mode for him.
Well, after he completes the light shrine, yes, I believe that the red hot stick is going to be his go mode item once he finishes getting the path. But then again, he may still be missing the little boy that we refer to as Pathfinder. Kind of hard to remember at this point.
He also does not have the lucky blades, same as Queenie, so whatever is locked in Lake Loon is definitely still not available for both of them. And now, kind of ironic, Paledim went into the World of Evil way before the others, but now he's missing the Soul Blade, which was in the World of Evil, and all the others have it because they went in later, so yeah. Kinda evens out again, I suppose. What grandmas? Phoenix, we in order to reach the final boss, we need to open the door to the final boss room, and for that we need 2 magicians, which are called grandmas in this game, and they perform a little dance, and then the portal to the final boss room opens, and that's why the community nicknamed those 2 magicians the Dancing Grandmas. So that's definitely something we have to do. We cannot reach the boss without seeing the grandma's dance. And Major Tom is even has even the right emote for it. So yeah, that's something we absolutely have to do to finish the seed. We need to find the grandmas. We need to find the Mountain King because the grandmas are in the throne room with the Mountain King, and we need to clear the path through the underground city to reach the throne room. So about 7 NPCs necessary for this event, and right now we have some of them, but we are not sure if we have all of them. So Queenie on her way to find the red hot stick. And she does not have the red hot ball. I don't remember where the red hot ball was, but Paledim also doesn't have it, so I assume it has to be somewhere in the... Oh no. Queenie did the model towns, right?
So red hot ball is also going to be in the underground castle, which Twinkie is the only one that has completed at this time.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So almost 2 hours in, and Still missing some.
We are close, but who knows exactly how close to our ending.
Twinkie had a little mishap. He accidentally, I think it was accidentally stepped on a layer, and he kind of reset his spirits again, so he has to backtrack a little bit to kill these spirits.
And sometimes backtracking, trying to catch those spirits, is very difficult.
So
the way that they bounce around the room and everything, so...
Yeah, usually this section would also be completely dark, so you wouldn't see the walls, you just see the sprites. But luckily he already has the soul of light, so he at least does not have to worry about finding the right path. Although I'm very sure Twinkie wouldn't know the path even if the room was completely dark. And Queenie found her lucky blade in Rockbird, which opens up Lake Loon for her as well, which, as we know, will give her the mushroom shoes. Did we see Paledim go after the mushroom shoes? I don't think we did, right?
No, I don't think he's gone back up yet. It is such a long way to go for so few like NPCs and items that he might just wait until the last bit to go up there if he doesn't find any further progression.
A very long passage and very annoying layers, a very annoying type of enemies, a lot of bats that circle around you, a lot of these magicians that spawn and despawn if you accidentally trigger them. And yeah, you barely get anything. You only get like a couple of items in the very last section of this pathway. And the light sample was definitely required for the grandpa with the logs. So good job, Twinkie, for finding him. And now he's gonna feed the hungry squirrel. I think Queenie fed him too, but I don't remember what she got. Oh, a mate with another item.
Welcome in. Hello.
Okay, he's also catching up on these NPCs, or he's at least trying to see these what NPCs he still can catch up in now that he visits the city. But doesn't look like Act 2 has anything more for him, so which direction will he go? He's going back to Act 4. Probably on his way to Lake Loon. But he's also gonna check if there are any NPCs he can still talk with. He does not have the way to the prison yet, so no talking to Gnome, no way to the sleeping mushroom. And he's not going to Lake Loon, it seems. Oh no, he doesn't have the lucky plate yet. Of course. He did not go to Rockbird yet. So instead, he's checking that mate he just freed.
So, checking with our Soul of Reality soldier there. It is just a goat there in Act 1 that doesn't really give us anything.
He's equipped the mobile key, so I believe now is time to demon the bird. You will not be disappointed by doing so, as we know. And Queenie also working her way to Lake Loon. Has already found her mushroom shoes. But I don't think there was anything really important in the back half of Lake Loon.
That plant that she just unlocked, it does hold an item, so that could still be of importance. However, I don't remember if Pale has checked that or not.
think we were missing the mouse hole last time to check the plant.
No, that plant's the one on the second floor, just
the one
outside of the
yeah,
attic.
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I think somebody went up there, but I don't know if we saw that plant yet, or if if it was just a check for... I know we had the sleepy cat, which nobody has checked yet, but I don't remember about the plant. And Twinkie is getting a bad pattern from the demon bird. He's giving him a lot of dives. He still cannot swing his soul blade, which would make this a little bit easier. And there he gets another horizontal. And that should be it. There we go. Meanwhile, Queenie also in a boss fight, but Poseidon is not gonna give her any more resistance because, yeah, she can just use any sword and slash him very quickly. Gets a tulip she will never need. But yay.
At least her world will be a little brighter.
Yeah, true. Accidentally triggered one of these magicians, but the next one is gonna get light arrowed.
So we just saw Twinkie finishing up that fight with the demon bird, getting his rock bird statue. So we will see if he continues to follow that and get his last red hot item, or if he has figured some other place that he can go at this point.
It looks like Rockbird. At least he's talking to the statue right away. Let's see if he equips the bubble armor. Yeah, I think he's going there straight away. It's a good spot to go, right? It has a lot of items. He already has been to all the other efficient spots already. He can't go to Lake Loon because he's missing the Lucky Blade. That will be in Rockbird. He does not have the mushroom shoes, so he can't check this section either. He cannot go to the mansion or to the painting in Act 1 because he's missing the architect and the old man with the house, I believe. So
correct, but he will find the architect there in Rockbird.
That's true. So I think it's logical he would go to Rockbird right away at this point. And meanwhile, Queenie finishing up her Lake Loon. She will get a shortcut to the temple, so once she finds the Dream Rod and the Sleepy Mushroom, she can come back and quickly do the checks she missed on, right now. Let's see where she's going to go. She's going back to Act 1, and I believe she will go into the underground castle and find her red hot item. She's going to do a little more checking up before that. She does not have the house. She has the pass and the kit though, so Francis, please move on. We need to find what item you're hiding. Platinum card and a dog. So platinum card can be useful, opens up the left tower. I don't know if we have to find the NPC for the left tower yet. But the dog is definitely not helping at all. Dogs in this game are not very useful.
So this could be a very, very close race, as we know that Twinkie is approaching his final red hot item, and we know that as soon as Queenie goes and does the second part of the underground castle, she will get the remaining items and NPCs that she needs. So let's just wait and see who manages to get through it faster.
May come down to the wire. We might see two runners at the end boss at the same time. Alien is has the red hot items right now, and I believe he's gonna find his second grandma as well.
Yeah, so here at the end, he will find the second grandma. So he's even approaching that final fight as well, but still going to be looking for his soul blade.
Just checking the experience points. Queenie is definitely ahead in experience points. As we said, we need to get level... Oh, Paladin has the grandmas, but he does not have the path yet. He's missing the grandpa with the locks. We just saw that in the cutscene. So Queenie is ahead in experience points by a little margin. We need to reach level 24, so Twinkie and Paladin will need to invest some time into grinding experience points, while Queenie has to invest a lot less time. So maybe that can make a difference even, if they both reach Go mode at the same time. And he has the red hot stick, Twinkie. And where is he going? Is he going straight into Act 4? I think he would at least check if he can get there. I don't know if he can, but chances are very high. The only thing he hasn't gone yet, where the others have been, is the lake area, but looks like he can just march straight through, which means Twinkie is in Go mode. Enjoy the dancing grandmas. The portal will open, and then all he has to do is get some more experience points to reach level 24 and do the final boss. Dancing grandma hype. And Queenie right behind him, because she will find her red hot ball at this point, and I think she's also in Go mode now.
She has to finish this out to get that last grandma, so
she's still,
she's still just a few layers behind.
Oh, this is really, really close. So Paladin needs to... Oh, the Mountain King released the second king. Huh. If we were playing bingo now, we could do the Talk to Two Kings bingo tile, but... We're in a race right now, so we don't have time to talk to the king.
Correct. At this point in time, we are at the point where we are just trying to go fast and complete this race to see who we send to the final spot in our finale tomorrow.
So, right now Twinkie is still missing a couple of experience points, so he's going to go back into this section, kill these gray rectangles. They give 4,000 experience points each, and there is a very good spot right here. He can just enter this portal, leave again, 3 of these rectangles spawn, he pokes them, they die. He needs to reach 420,000, so just 2 more rounds and he will be at level 24. There we go. Can get a couple more experience points along the way, but he also got a full heal with this level up, so he is ready to enter the boss room. And now it's just 2 more phases of boss. Meanwhile, Queenie will find her second grandma, but I think Twinkie is now at a point where he can only lose this race. And Twinkie has defeated phase 1 and is now going into phase 2. This phase is mostly managing these blue flames, so the boss opens the third eye or the crystal in his forehead, and you're trying to time it so you don't have too many sprites on screen at the same time, so you're trying to avoid shooting the Phoenix spell from your sword at the boss while lasers are on the screen. we will need a couple of rotations of that. I think it's 60 hits or something. So this phase takes a long time, but mostly the most optimizing you can do is basically lag reduction. And also, Queenie has her grandmas doing the dance. So she's right behind. These runners are all gonna be within minutes of each other. This is so close. Such a great final seed of the day. Such a great way to get hyped for the final tomorrow. Twinkie getting a little bit low on HP, but he still has a medical herb. He has not have to use it, use any of it during the time where he was just catching up on checks because he had such a high level for the low level areas, so no problem. And there goes down the boss. And Twinkie finishes with a time of 2:13, which I believe is the fastest seed of the day.
GG's Twinkie, an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 13 minutes, 41 seconds. And so now we will wait and see if he wants to join in the booth for a post-race interview as we see Queenie making her way to that final fight.
And sadly, we see Paladin walking, following the mushroom shoes. We know that he will not find his progress behind there. He's still missing one grandpa to open a path. So sadly, he picked a wrong choice at this point. And the mole does not let him... Oh yeah, he's... Okay. He's using the slides to optimize his speed a little bit.
Welcome in, Twinkie. GG's on your wins this evening.
GG's.
Thank you.
And so we'll start off with the, what did you think of the seed?
Very, very, very stressful. On top of the tournament jitters, like there was like 3 close calls I had almost dying. That could have costed me a lot of time. But it felt like for like the first 2 hours, I was just absolutely stressed.
What was the point at the seat where you thought, yeah, okay, I got this now?
Basically, when I found the last red hot item, when I like secured go mode.
So action till the last second.
Yep.
Well, congratulations on also having the fastest seed of the day.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised I got it that fast. I was expecting like a 245 with how that seed was going.
How did you like the position of the soul blade?
I mean, it was nice, but I don't feel like it helped out too much because I didn't really use it to grind that much. At least from what I remember. Because by the time I had it, I think I had Spirit Sword as well.
Yeah, you had both Spirit Sword and Sensetsu rather early, so but I'm just asking because chat had some opinions on that position. So I was just wondering if you maybe... Chat thought it was very lazy of the rando to put it there, but you don't seem to mind, so I guess it's okay in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like it changed the seed that much, honestly. At least it didn't really affect my decision-making going forward, so...
And Queenie also finished her seed with a time of 2:17, and I didn't see the second count, but low 2:17, so just about 4 minutes behind you. It was really that close in the end. GG's for Queenie in chat, please. And Queenie can, of course, also join in the broadcast booth if she wants to.
GG,
Hello,
Queenie.
GG. It was really close in the end. We were biting our nails here watching you both.
I forgot I was on push to talk, sorry. I said thank you!
So, Queenie. Kinda getting an early start in this, but...
Yeah, MLS asked me in Discord and my enter is my button to start the race, so I thought it was starting. Then oh shit, it's not starting, so I reset and I started again.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about you had the Sensetsu sword way before the others. And your routing was very your routing to the game. All three of you did very, very different routings, but you really blazed ahead at some points. Then when I was thinking like, yeah, this is Queenie. She's leading everybody into the same direction. Everybody was just following up on what you did, and then at some point it all changed up. Did you ever feel like you were? How confident were you while you were running the seed? Did you feel ahead or behind or?
I was confident, but when I went to grind in World of Evil to get to level 19 to swing the Spirit Sword, I died so much of like, oh, I'm losing time here, and that's when I felt less confident. But no, I'm happy with how I played. And GG, Twinkie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Queenie, for not causing me a heart attack during stream.
What do you mean?
No fire alarm this time.
Oh, no. But tomorrow is still a early day.
Well, and I don't have to bet another seed this evening because you have already betted the finale seed.
Yeah.
So while we wait for Paledim to find his last grandpa, Queenie, you've seen all the races, I think, so far. I mean, you raced once and you've seen the other two. You're not a finalist, so you're not biased. Who do you think is gonna take the crown tomorrow?
Dented.
That was not even a second of hesitation. Twinkie, what do you say? You have a chance.
Dented.
Okay, so
Fine, I will go out on the limb and take on the underdog. I think Solar has a chance.
I don't know. He said he won only because Axman forgot something.
And we never know how the seeds will play out tomorrow and what our runners will decide as choices. So,
yeah, tomorrow is me and MLS commentating.
Ooh. That's definitely gonna be fun. And I think I have to agree with Amy. It's a rando. Anything can happen, right? You can always have a lucky strike, and you can always have. I mean, we've seen it in other games where there was a clear favorite, and then the underdog had the lucky break and just won by a slight margin, but won. So, I think this is still gonna be a very, very fun race to watch tomorrow, and with these settings, really one decision can turn the tides, as we've seen. I've really thought Queenie was so far ahead, and then Twinkie did 2 or 3 different decisions, and it just paid off in margins. So.
Yep, you are so right about that.
and so just to kind of recap, at this point in time, Pale is still searching for his Soul Blade. He did take quite a few deaths trying to do the World of Evil fairly early, and he is also looking for the grandpa logs that's in the light shrine that he needs the Geely for, which we know is in the power plant that he has not completed. I don't know if he actually has those stairs yet at this point in time, but that is where we stand currently waiting for him to finish.
He's right now cleaning up act number 3. He still had a couple of NPCs to check. So he's going after these quick talk to an NPC, give me something check, in hopes to, so he doesn't have to play any more dungeon. We know it's not gonna work out for him, but makes sense. If you're only missing one item, you like to chain a lot of quick checks together instead of, committing to another dungeon. But it looks like... Nah, he's doing more item checks. Okay. Getting his outside roll.
I'm gonna up out because my puppy is out of the hospital.
Yes, Queenie, go take care of your dog. Take care of everything that's been going on. We will see you in the morning.
Yep. Thank you, Z and Amelis, for commentating.
It was lots of fun. Thank you for giving us
GG
the
again,
chance.
Twinkie. And thank you, Final Fantasy Randomizer, for having us this year. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And this is one of those things that every runner of this randomizer does encounter, where we get to a point where just going back to a specific spot or unlocking a specific area always kind of happens at some point in time in one seed or another. So I do not, think that Pale is by any means having a hard time. It is really just remembering all of those locations.
And we have to remember that he went in super aggressively from the start, right? He immediately went into Act 6 to get an experience advantage. Once he had the first stone, which was very early, he immediately went back into the World of Evil with the critical sword. I think it was not even the Sensetsu sword, but the critical sword, trying to get these checks done. He went in super aggressive, super early. So now he's kinda again taking the gamble, taking these single item checks over the dungeons that he has available. So it makes sense. He's been going for the odds this entire seed. So it makes sense that he would also finish that way. I guess he's going for the harp string next, right? So we're going to hear the special song at least once on stream. Didn't hear it when Twinkie checked it.
And as Delina pointed out, and like I've said a couple of different times throughout this stream, this is a change up for some of these runners, especially those that have done the speed runs and low percent and stuff like that. So again, this just it is new. It does take some adjustments, and we are all going through those little growing pains that come with change. So no harm, no foul. We will be here until he finishes and see how he feels about everything and kind of go over everything with him. No rush.
We got a lot of time, and we're seeing the left tower now. This is traditionally in the single player randomizer, this place has a lot of NPC layers, but only one item, I believe, 1 or 2 items. So usually not a place where you would go when you're missing your red hot items, but where you would go if you're missing a grandpa. So kind of makes sense that his instinct tells him to go here.
So this particular tower only has NPCs. There is not a single item unless it comes off of one of the NPCs.
Doesn't the crystal give you an... Oh no, the crystal doesn't give you an item, he just sends you back. Yeah, okay, never mind. But we see him triple layering at this point with light arrows. And he finds the last part of the Woodstone trio, which we haven't seen as well. Luckily this tower also isn't very long because everything is very close together. So these are the last 5 layers we see here, and they're basically all on the same screen. And he's already cleared all of them, so just collecting his loot now, finding the Dream Rod, which is
Oh no, all of
Kinda bad,
the new items.
kind of bad because now he got a lot of checks available for him now. He could do the underground hype cave because he also has the big pearl. He found the shy bird in Act 2, which is another item. So let's see where he's going. He does not have the... Oh, he does have the Sleepy Soldier, I suppose. Because he's backtracking. Yeah, he has the Sleepy Soldier. So here's the first Dream Rod check of this seed. He's gonna talk to the guy, get a little dream sequence. Has to mash through some dialogue. And then when the soldier wakes up, he will give him an item. We might see that again if he goes after the Sleepy Cat in Act 5. I don't think we have access to the Sleepy Mushroom in Act 4. But we have the Sleepy Dolphin in Act 3, which would give us a complete new passage with 4 items. The Underground Hype Cave. So going by item density, it could make sense to check this instead of investing into a rather long item. Oh, what is it? Oh, he's going after the last remaining checks of in the World of Evil, which will give him a Soul Blade. Now that he's almost level 24, has light arrows, and you see that these purple demons that gave him such a trouble 2 hours ago now just melt away. Gets
So
another
he finds
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Very good. He needed that definitely. And I guess he will stick and open up the last entrance to the temple. So he will, even if he doesn't find anything, we know he will find his Soul Blade, but even if he wouldn't find anything, he at least have a quick way to get back to the final boss.
He will... Trying to remember everything that he actually has completed as well, so... he will get his second Crocodile to Tiki, which would then give him his Sleepy Bird check. But again, right now we are just kind of hoping that he is gonna find his Soul Blade, kind of remember what all he had back when this became more available to him, and find those other NPCs that he's still missing.
It was gutsy to go into the World of Evil early, but it might have kind of thrown him a little bit of balance with the with all the time he had invested, with barely getting anything, and then having to backtrack in here a lot of times again. So might not have been the maybe just kind of made him second guess his decisions a little bit, which now leads to him going for the off checks in hope to make up some time again. Gets his level 24, which is also something he had to do either way, so good for him. Is this? Yeah, it's the second crocodile, so he would have the sleepy bird. The groans, oh no. I hope he's still having at least a little bit of fun. Okay, checking, he has the red hot items, checking if he can reach the dancing grandma's net now, and he's still missing Grandpa with the logs. So, where are we going next? He already been to Loon. He's checking the prison again, but I don't think we've found the prison guard yet.
I think we're still missing at least one more NPC outside of the prison guard to get to that. So
Not even sure if we even seen the sleepy mushroom. And it looks like Act 5 is the next place to go. He's not going to the...
go to the power plant. Pale, go to the power plant.
He's gonna get the plant and the sleepy cat, I suppose, before he goes to the power plant. Because it's quicker to do these two checks than to do an entire dungeon part. Makes sense.
Very much so, and he has been kind of following, like, as he gets items in each zone, so we know he's going to get the greenwood leaf out of the power plant, which will then lead him back to the light shrine, which will get him to his go mode. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he will stick here for the power plant once he has this item checks done. Hey, he has a cat. Aww, the cat from the room has been hiding into the cupboard. Okay. He's not checking the plant, so I guess he already checked it earlier. He has been here already for the model towns, so he might have checked it back then. And yeah, there he goes. Power plant, which at this level with this equipment is just a... it's just a formality, so... Guy has enough HP, has enough has enough HP to walk over these fire platforms that we're gonna see soon.
believe me, Delina, I completely understand that logic-driven kind of approach to this, and so these seeds, even when I vet them, do give me some trouble, which is why I am very lucky that I have kind of developed kind of knowing like where my times match up to a lot of these other runners, which has just come from lots and lots and lots of practicing against them. So just how I am able to provide these contents for everybody.
But yeah, if you like what you see, I really hope you're considering trying this game out for yourself. It's very easy to pick up and to play. Easy to learn, hard to master, I guess, is the right the right term in this time. You can really do a lot of optimization, but just picking up the game and starting your first seed and going with it, it's super easy. You don't need any frame perfect, pixel perfect strats to finish your seeds. So if you just want a nice evenly paced rando to pick up and have fun with, Soul Blazer definitely has you covered. And if you like what you see, hopefully you will stick with us, because tomorrow there will be the big finale. And one more seed with these settings to find out who's gonna get the crown for this year. Hey,
There we go. Pale finally getting that greenwood leaf and continuing over to what appears to be his light shrine check.
Like before, he's first doing the NPC checks in town, because those are faster than doing the committing to the dungeon. Although the Sleepy Bird does take a little bit longer, because you have this little mini cutscene and then a lot of dialogue from it. But also gets another medical herb. Yay. Herb percent. Okay, he does not check the trio. And he does not stick with the greenwood leaf. I think the hype cave, the underground hype cave, underwater hype cave, is on his mind right now. With Sleepy Dolphin and the Big Pearl in his possession.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Pale.
Also checking. I know, he already checked Leo. Okay. Yeah. Bubble armor. And off he goes. It's 4 items in one location. It's definitely a good choice to go there when you're missing something, but we of course know that he's just going into the wrong direction right now, so it's kind of painful to watch, but I definitely can see the appeal in doing that check right now. Also, he didn't see these checks before, so not only does he have the hype cave, he also has the 3 checks on the way towards the final boss and the check behind the boss. So it makes sense. It's more density of items in this section than there is in the light shrine, I suppose. Also, maybe he hopes this is a bit faster than clearing the light shrine. At the first floor of the light shrine, you have to kill so many layers just to open up passages. And you don't get anything from it, you just get 1 item or 1 or 2 items in the first layer. Soul of Detection. Another bird, but not a bird with an item, so that's not gonna lure him into the wrong direction. And the mole to the sleepy stump. Ooh, that's another Dream Rod spot.
With also the mole ribbon check, so we'll be back
you're
over
right.
in Act 2 before we know it. But we, like you said, we still have 2 chests, several NPCs to collect along this path, and we'll see that since he already has the Mermaid Queen that the boss area does not have, that thrilling boss music that we saw with like the seeds earlier today, where we were in here and the boss music was actually playing.
And the treasure chest had nothing. How rude. How rude sending an empty chest here. Oh, that's another dungeon part. That's the painting. And we have Leo's brush. We're scooting towards Hunter territory.
Very much so.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be so glad that Pale does not think that this is totally my fault.
Ah, a snail. That's not gonna change anything. That's just this is. I feel it so much. There's so many seats where I have just done the same thing. It's just like, yeah, let's go here. Ah, could have gone through this check. He's gonna be very annoyed because he's gonna think I could have gone to this check like half an hour ago or an hour ago, and why didn't I go there? And it's like.
And here we're gonna get a pet check as well.
Are we gonna? Oh yeah, yes, all the emblems. Is he gonna check the pet? I mean, at this point, he might as well, right? He's gonna go to Act 5. He's gonna act to Act 2 because he wants the Sleepy Stump and the Mole Ribbon. He might as well check the pet when he's there. Yeah, he's not going into the dungeon. He's going straight towards the NPCs. There's the Mole Ribbon. And here is I Believe I Can Fly. The tree that dreams he would be a bird.
Yeah, unfortunately it's the longer text, not our quick little I Believe I Can Fly and we're done.
Yeah, sadly. So a lot of the custom dialogues has been, oh, this opened up the prison, right? This mushroom. I think it did. Is he gonna check the mermaid's tears? Okay, he's not gonna. At least the guy told him he didn't have anything good. Ice armor.
In the vanilla chest?
I was just gonna say,
Is this randomized?
This is even randomized. And we're checking the prison before we go to Ledge Shrine. Does he have Sleepy Mushroom already? He definitely has Gnome.
Yes, he does have the sleeping mushroom. That was back in the fire shrine, so everybody has that.
And a mouse hole! 2 more checks in Act 5. He already lured the cats out with the catnip, so the mouse will let him in. So that's 2 more checks in Lake Loon. One layer and one, hidden item on the ground. And he already has the shortcuts to this section, so I suppose it's pretty easy to just go there and take these 2 checks along the way. Medical herb and one last layer of bats. No problem for him. Has the pattern figured out. And it's Lisa, the next sleeping NPC. All those sleeping NPCs so late in the seed.
And just think, the whole seed was completable without any of them.
Yeah. You didn't need the dream rod at all this seed. Okay, he's checking the mouse hole. Makes sense. It's quick. You just have to talk to a plant and a mouse and you get 2 checks. And the plant has a plant inside the plant. However that works, but yeah, video game logic. Don't question it. Now, where are we going? Act 1 or Act 2?
I think it's gonna be... Oop. I was gonna say, I was thinking it was gonna be Act 1, but I think he's kind of realized that he still had something in Act 2 to do.
I think it's just better item density in the light shrine than it would be talking to Lisa, walking all the way back for 2 checks and then climbing back out again. I think item density led him into the right direction this time. Of course, he's gonna take these layers along the way, because why would he skip those? This layer is particularly slow, I think. This, or at least this is the layer where I'm always standing there like, when's the next one coming? Oh, there it is. Okay, there's one more crystal outside. You need to ride the raft twice to get to it. Just some gems. And off we go. And this section is kinda annoying because you have a lot of layers, but you have barely anything you get from it, because what all these layers are going to do is just make one of these light barriers disappear and open up a path, but it's not like the direct path, it's just like all the way around, making sure you walk through the entire room before you can even think about getting to those stairs leading into the basement. Also, we have these enemies, which are at least my least favorite in this section. They are teleporting, I think is supposed to be, but they are only... You can only attack them for a short moment when they're standing still before they charge their next teleport, so... You need to be very, very careful when you attack them. Like we said before, this is not a challenge about killing the enemies anymore. This is just going through the motions right now. But this is now just finding that right check that will open up his go mode. And he's on the right way. He will be on his final stretch very, very soon. And like the others, he will have no trouble defeating the final boss, because he's done so a lot of times already. And there we... No! Psyched out! I thought this was the grandpa we were missing, but It was just a girl.
I totally forgot that little girl was in here as well, so I'm totally feeling that, like, oh, I see the zone we need to be in for this final thing. And then it wasn't, like, completely psyched out.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the next big thing will be whether, as soon as he gets this grandpa, if he warps out of here really quickly or if he finishes it up.
I mean, he was there. He knows he's only missing this grandpa to get to the king. He already checked the way, so I would say he finds the grandpa and he's just gonna be finally, and he goes. He's out of there. I would assume as much. But yeah, that's always in this when you see the map light up and it's, oh yes, it's Act 1. Yes, it's gonna be the one. It's gonna be the NPC I need. Oh, it's just another tulip. Yeah, that happened so many times when playing this render. It's like, we're in Act 5. We're in Act 5. I need. Oh, I don't need that cat. I need. I need the door.
And I'm sure there was just another groan from his office where he accidentally stepped on that layer and has reset these little spirit orbs. So he has to run back real quick, clean up the 2 that he's already taken on, and continue on.
So there's only 5 more layers in this section, but he will probably not open any of them. He will probably just go to the boss before he does that, and then like backtrack and get all these layers, because the spirit is nearly the spirit ones are right at the end, and yeah, he's probably gonna get the boss when he's almost next to the entrance to the boss room. But this is the last spirit. And is it a grandpa? Yes, but the wrong grandpa again. Again psyched out. Seed, why you so mean?
Well, only 2 more layers left, and like I said, we do know that he is going to get the NPC that he needs here very soon, so...
The boss just melts away. These are the statue heads. A statue with a light attack, a water attack, and a fire attack, but with the soul blaze, it's just gonna, melt away. So we didn't see a single attack from these bosses. And he got another NPC in Act number 4, but again, it's not an NPC he needs. This is just teasing for the sake of being teasing.
Well, at least that one that he just got kind of does give him a shortcut to this final NPC that he is unlocking now. So
now we can see, yeah, he's going straight for the temple, talking to the big guy. Move me over here. And there we go. We're in go mode. We're gonna see one more dancing grandma.
And Pale, with all that's gone on, showing us the alternate route that you can take to get through the zone to this check.
There we go. The good thing is he is level 24 and he already has the shortcuts to the temple right next to the boss room, so he's immediately going into the boss room, and we will have this final boss once more, the final time for today, on screen.
Queenie acts DNF'd on the first race. But yes, it has been an extremely phenomenal showing of all of the members of our community in all of the races that we have hosted today. I am extremely excited to see what tomorrow brings from all of these runners. And we're just making our way through. Again, as always, for anybody new here, if you are interested in learning this randomizer, please feel free, join the Discord, reach out to the community members. We may ask for a little bit of a break, after today and tomorrow before we can really get into helping you learn, but we are always welcome to help you as soon as we can.
And also, if you like multi-worlds, this is such a fun multi-world game. So, just rather if you wanna play this game and see all that Rando has to offer, or if you want like another option for your multi-world fun with your pals, it's just such a nice game, so easy to pick up and so much fun to be had with it. Meanwhile, we have phase 1, just the formality with the power bracelet and the soul blade. So phase 2, again, we're trying to kill these blue flames and then shoot phoenixes at the head. It doesn't matter where you hit it as long as you hit the head, so the horns also count as a hitbox. It's very, very fair. You can stand right to the side, dodge those flames the boss spits at you, and still get all the hits in. A little bit of lag reduction, trying to get no phoenixes on the screen when the lasers are shooting, because too many sprites make boss slow. But I think at this point he doesn't care too much about the lag reduction. He just wants this to be over with. And he will take the safety herb just in case he gets hit by another set of lasers. There we go.
I think all of our runners had to use their safety herb in this final fight, which is very unusual.
I mean, they all went in with level. Oh, there we go, GG. They all went in with level 24 and barely anything on top. So I know I didn't have to use my herb, but I was level 27 when I was at the final boss, which is substantially more HP. So yeah, GG. Sub 3 hours, which means I'm still the slowest of the runners today. And welcome in, Pale.
Thank you much. That was rough.
GG's on finishing, Pale. Please don't hate me.
No, it's perfectly fine. I was all for, I thought World of Evil, that early jump in was required, and it ended up just messing up my mind that I should have went to Fire Shrine instead.
Yeah, but props to you, man. That was gutsy, going in there with, I think you had the critical sword at that point and level 8, and you just went in there and you surgically removed every of those purple demons. It was really very, very exciting to watch you take care of them. It took a lot of time, admittedly, but it looked very, very well practiced.
Yeah, it was all for nothing, though. I probably wasted 20 minutes there for nothing.
Well, and then when you finally did kind of come back out and start doing everything, you were making huge progress to catch up while Twinkie and Queenie were still kind of finding things. But then you just kind of went down the rabbit hole of, I just opened this and let's see where it leads with this, and which then just kind of got you back off track right here as people were finishing up.
Yeah, I was playing Hundo Blazer for sure, but that's kind of what can happen, right? You can get just trapped in just, the roulette of where is that last item? It could be anywhere, and this just showcases it that you never know.
Hale, I'm so very sorry. Do you have the stream running in the background? Could you please mute the stream, because I think we hear the stream from you. Very sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I closed it down.
So other than the taking the risks that you thought you did, otherwise, how did you feel about the settings?
The only issue that I ever have is kind of that last item is a roulette, and it could be anywhere. You could find it in 10 minutes. You could find it in an hour. That's the only problem, is it could potentially make the seeds, a little long.
Okay, and
Yeah,
with every
the dreaded last location.
And so, everybody that we have here, is there anything else we would like to say as we close out the tournament for today? Of course, we will be back tomorrow with Solar Cell 007, Dented Razor, and Twinkie for our finale race.
Looking forward to it.
Likewise.
Yeah, me too. And thanks again for having me here. Was my first percent, maybe not my last. And thanks for also letting me commentate with this, Amy. This was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad that everybody has seemed to have some fun with it today. Again, thank you, Final Fantasy Randomizer, for hosting us this year. Hopefully, we do see some of your members continue to join our Discord and maybe see more of this randomizer run throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely gonna pick it up for my multi-world. It's such a fun game and so relaxing, I want to say. Definitely my go-to for any multi-worlds I'm gonna take part in.
So again, one last time, there is a link to our Discord. Everybody is welcome. And of course, like I said, we will be back tomorrow to see who wins and gets to have a little bit of bragging rights for the year. I'm not 100% sure. I will get with Queenie to find out if there is any other prizes this year, and we will make sure that gets posted in the Discord. But it has been a great evening and a great day, and I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. Good night, everyone.